In part 1, we saw Coffeezilla take a definitive lead over Billie Jean. Here's part 2.
I had questions for you because I genuinely want to know, like, who you are. You out people your names, like, were you bullied in school? Like, when did it switch? And like,
this is another subtle ad hominem attack by Billy. It's a completely irrelevant question to the conversation, and he's trying to diminish Steven's beliefs. I also find it interesting that his attack referenced being bullied, since that's what Billy tried to do throughout the entire conversation. It would have been more appropriate to ask if Steven had been scammed by a fake guru as the reasoning for starting his channel.
I'm telling you what I'm trying to say. And it's the fact that you're giving advice, even if your advice is to not fuck with somebody else, you're giving advice and you ain't got a motherfucking business. You're a scam.
This is clearly the heart of Billy's issues with what Coffeezilla does. I think it's actually legitimate criticism, since from those who don't really understand what we do, we just look like critics trying to tear people down who are running a real business, even though the people we go after are typically only selling courses as their real business. Billy calling Coffeezilla a scam without watching any videos is worse than us calling someone a fake guru without knowing anything about them.
Who doesn't have a business is telling you who to listen to.
I can understand Billy's perspective on this, but there is value in being a critic. The Source magazine was a pivotal part of hip-hop culture in the 90s. Investigative journalists uncover criminals and save customers from shady business practices all the time. I do think Coffeezilla running a business outside of YouTube would give him a lot more credibility, though.
Do I give advice? Do I tell people how to live their life? Do I sell a course on how to live their life? No, I do not. Because that
I have a question for you. I got a question for you. And this is
Billy.
Let's talk about ridiculous. You have created a successful YouTube channel.
When Steven is making a point that defeats Billy's logic, he acts distracted and then turns to his tactic of putting his hand towards the camera and speaking over his opponent. Billy reminds me of the girl with Tourette's that Deuce Bigalow takes to the baseball game, where she can yell and scream and no one cares.
And I also want to credit you because I know that's hard as shit, but I would willing to bet that you made so many mistakes on the come up, you know what I mean? You made so many errors.
Sure.
So if you created a course to help people start their YouTube channel the right way, because there's a lot of misinformation out there on the internet, as we both know, you don't think that'd be beneficial?
In theory, Billy is definitely right, and I would side with him. There is value in courses, and if a course can reduce the learning curve by months or years, then it's absolutely worth the price. There are a lot of people who are creating courses within the business or make money online world that are awesome and have plenty of success stories. What gets lost in communication is Coffeezilla mostly focuses on fake gurus. Fake gurus selling surface level courses that aren't even created by them are scams and cost way too much. He's right about that. On a broad scale, Coffeezilla definitely sticks to his guns too much with the anti-course movement. I think there are plenty of courses being sold ethically and to the right audience, and people are succeeding. Courses should exist. It's why I focus almost entirely on the seller of the course and how it's advertised as opposed to the course itself.
Let me give
you a quote by someone who's not that successful. His name is Warren Buffett.
And yet another instance of using the hand and loud speech to steamroll over Coffeezilla. I'm going to score this round 10-10 since I think both parties made good points and both parties continued to speak over each other, nullifying any knockdowns.
When somebody sells their education and they wrap it around a pretty little dream that's not going to happen for people, because the way you become a successful piano player.
Hey, remind me to never buy a fucking mindset course from you. Listen to what the fuck you just said.
Coffeezilla is not someone who will help aspiring business owners succeed in business. The goal of his channel is to expose shady marketing techniques and fake gurus. He's like Dave Ramsey. Avoid this bad thing over here, and that's a net positive, but you wouldn't follow either of them if you wanted to start a business, and the audience knows that.
When you wrap it in a bow,
I don't sell
and you sell a dream that's never gonna happen for people, this is who y'all follow? What you call them, the Coffeezilla gang or army? This is your dude?
From Billy's perspective, he's viewing Coffeezilla's videos as if people watch him to become entrepreneurs or business owners. That's why they disagree here. I don't think either one of them are wrong, they're just arguing on different wavelengths. He's not aware that Coffeezilla is an entertainment channel, not a mindset course or a business guru.
You scaring away people from investing in themselves and taking a fucking leap of faith, let me tell you, it hurts people at the bottom the most.
I don't believe that.
What was unfortunate about the way this debate was handled is that they were both typically arguing different points without realizing it. The way Billy conducted himself made it really difficult on Steven to introduce any nuance and finish the points he was making. The best thing people at the bottom can do is invest in themselves using free resources and local networking, not in courses. Spending years reading books that are free from the library is a much better use of time and energy than trying to become a day trader or Amazon FBA specialist. Billy and other course sellers have huge cognitive dissonance towards the customers who exist at the bottom of the socioeconomic scale. A course is just the first 5% of success. The remaining 95% is how you apply the material, and most people purchasing these courses aren't ready for that 95%.
What good are you doing?
I'm saving people from this cycle in the self-help space of thinking that they're one person.
Cycle of helping themselves.
Here's another example of Steven making a good point only to be steamrolled by Billy's constant use of speaking over his opponent. The online entrepreneur community is obsessed with this idea of self-help without realizing how flimsy the entire concept really is. People who reach financial success will credit self-help as a way of bettering themselves, but survivorship bias really kicks in strong because the 99% of people who don't succeed all read the same books and the same motivational memes on Instagram.
I honestly believe you're gonna delete this video after because you are getting murdered. Like this is not going good for you in any capacity. Like,
I feel the opposite.
What was a close round 4 is now ruled 10-9 to Coffeezilla after this statement. Billy needs a knockout to win this debate. Johnny, bring out a mindset book so Billy can get some help.
I'm gonna tell you, I figured you out.
Billy,
this is all I wanted to understand.
Can I say something?
You are a hurt individual that's looking to hurt other people.
You know
oh, Billy with the irrelevant comment. Coffeezilla has helped thousands of people become aware of the scams that fake gurus are pulling on social media. None of his content is malicious.
Ty Lopez has changed more lives than you can even fathom, but yet you sit here and you fucking mock him.
In order to sell the business opportunity courses that Coffeezilla usually attacks, you have to be able to only focus on the small amount of success stories and ignore the failure rate. People like Billy view Ty Lopez as the saint for helping thousands of people. The absolute value of success stories may seem high in the tens or hundreds of students, but the percentage is really low. Billy sees the glass 1% full, while we see the glass 99% empty. It's not a bulletproof system if most people don't succeed. Remember, the way these courses are sold are full of guarantees and my system works for everyone, yet the results conflict the sales pitch.
I now empathize for you because I realize that you say is literally from a place of hurt.
Billy, I feel bad for you.
And failure.
Billy is such a nice guy, so much empathy. I wonder if he has empathy for our loss of hearing after all of his yelling.
So you like Charlemagne the God, and
go check it out.
It's interesting because actually Charlemagne the God.
How long did you prep this speech? You wrote up your clip and everything. How long did you prep this? You feel good?
No, I didn't.
Go get your punchline. Go ahead.
You're the one who prepped like 16 audio things. I'm not going to go tell you, oh, you prepped for an interview? Like that's a diss.
Billy made a phone call during the conversation to order a limited edition Snuggie hoodie, which was on sale, which was very inappropriate. The disrespect deserves a negative point as it is equivalent to a low blow in the ring. Billy's personal attacks and phone call led to another 10-9 round for Coffeezilla. The sixth and final round, Billy really needs a knockout here to win.
Guess what? Real ones do it anyway. Pussies like you sit on the sideline, talk about other people doing it, collect a check from YouTube.
Oh, Billy with the personal attack. Not a good way to start the round.
If you like statistics, I make more money than 99.0 something people on the planet.
Congratulations.
So if I'm a nobody, if I'm a nobody, and what the does that make you?
Billy's coming in hot and looking for the knockout to win this debate.
Because again, my whole thing is I like the fact you call out bullshit because it needs to happen, but not at the expense of killing everyone's hopes and dreams and getting everybody to just sit in their box and not take any risk because they're afraid that they're going to get scammed.
After 20 minutes of back and forth yelling, they finally reach the end. What's ironic about Billy's statement is that me and Coffeezilla are showing how people get scammed. If we can eliminate the bad apples from the bunch, then theoretically, the only people left are legitimate gurus providing great material for the next wave of business owners to succeed.
This is like a weird, like, oh, you're almost there. You're
almost there. This is a come to Jesus moment. Yes.
Billy, you hang out with a bunch of charlatans. How about that for a come to Jesus?
I hang out with. You don't know who I hang out with.
What?
Billy definitely follows some of our favorite charlatans on Instagram. This was a unanimous decision in favor of Coffeezilla. Thankfully for Billy, there are plenty of charlatans with podcasts where he can refine his skills and maybe return to the debate ring again someday with some better points. Maybe, just maybe, there's a fake guru out there willing to sell him a how to 100x your income in 21 days by winning internet debates course. Thanks for watching.